If you'd like to watch a nice, steady walkthrough of the flying flamingo habitat, skip right here. If you'd like to watch this pure chaos and a possible epilepsy indicator, stay here! Hi, I'm Till and I've just finished building the first part of my flying zoo, the entrance. Okay, so the entire park will be placed above the ground on a giant floating lumps of dirt connected by the suspended rails so that the animals below can live their lives undisturbed. Here you can see me gracefully building guest's first stop, the entrance. Since I wanted to make the downstairs jungle really wild and possibly untouched, I had some troubles picking styles for the place above. My first thought was making them rough, wooden, super basic and covered in vines, but that idea went straight to the trash where it belongs. Lifting all that material into the air requires a lot of technology and magic, so I went for a rather modern look. I still used a lot of wood just to make it fit better into the context. It's a tropical zoo, so it's really hot in here. Few walls are solid, but in some places I used just wooden columns to ensure good airflow and natural ventilation. The curved corners, the one close to the queues, are built with glass. They needed to be transparent but also shield the guests from the possible wind. I put the roof behind the gondola to make a small place for storage for the stuff. In real life these are essential, here not so much, but it still looks nice. These columns not only let some fresh air in, they also allow the guests to admire the view. For safety reasons they needed some railings and I picked the glass ones. They match with curved corners and don't block the view for the kids. Finally, it's time for some decorations. Instead of being a column, these wooden elements will be hanging from the ceiling and create some nice space for the zoo sign. Some finishing touches. And now, the empty space between the entrances. As soon as the guests appear in the zoo, they can see the animals, because the space underneath will be part of the flamingo's habitat. And all these plants make the place look cute. Now, the roof. Although the plants can get all the light they need through the glass window, I still wanted to make a skylight. It will be placed over the central area, right above the entrances, slightly higher than the rest of the roof. It's not only gonna look much more interesting, but also establish some inner hierarchy. This part has the highest ceiling, so it's the most important place in here. The most heavy-looking part of the building, big stone wall. Since all the other walls are made of glass or wooden columns, this one seems to be the main supporting structure. To make it look less massive and weighty, I turned it into an information panel by adding some animal silhouettes. All these animals will live here peacefully underneath the floating human grounds. Time to add some lights. And finally, the flamingo habitat. As I already told you, flamingos will be swimming underneath the entrances. They need quite a lot of water, and since it's possible for the guests to enter the flamingo's place, I'm planning to build a nice viewpoint right here. Checking whether the habitat is functional, and yes, the first flamingo has just moved in. You can see me gathering here all these people, as I needed to check if everything not only looks good but also works. Time to add some plants over the rocks. I've made a shelter for the flamingos. Since there are people in their habitat, they really need some private space. And about then I realized there was no place for the staff buildings, but no worries, the game has pretty good terrain forming system. For some reason, seeing the stuff building upsets the guests, so I hid them under to have it. It still needs to look cute, so I added the same decor and rocks. Now, enjoy the walk through the finished place. In the end of the video, I added some calm scenes. You can find them here.
Over lazy sage.
No,
Fire med dante?
Dette Norge så går man mors from. Og kan man monta for at alt skal gå om. Kom ikke det,